Hi, everyone. I have had a lot of people want me to post on what's going on with all the voting and decisions on IVF as of late. And there have been two things, two within the Senate, and then also the Southern Baptist Convention. By the way, my commenting or giving my opinion or interpretation probably will make no one happy. So I apologize in advance that you'll be completely offended, or a lot of people will, by what I say. So first, the Southern Baptist Convention. Last week, they said that it was a non-binding resolution, but basically they were saying they were very worried about they cautioned members against the use of IVF because they were worried about destruction of embryonic life, I think was the term that they used. I think there's a lot of good sentiment that we value children, and I think we want babies to be born and to there's a lot of respect for the process that goes on. Of course, as physicians, we deeply care about how embryos are handled and what happens to them. But I also think there's a deep misunderstanding of the biology, even if there is a degree of sentiment and care and compassion for being respectful. So I think there is a meaningful gap there, and so I disagree with their decision, and I think this starts getting into some ugly politics, and I'm not very supportive of what they concluded, and I think it'll keep a lot of people who will be great parents from having families, as well as create some dangerous slippery slope and momentum. For the federal government, the Senate was trying to do things for passing a bill to protect IVF rights. Tammy Duckworth, in particular, who's, a mom of two daughters from IVF. She is a veteran, injured, needed IVF herself. I have a deep respect for her insight, and what she's been through, having served our country and needing IVF. And her bill got largely tanked. Republicans ended up supporting the bill from Maine and Alaska, but for the others did not. And they instead went more with one that Ted Cruz was trying to champion, which would defund Medicaid for any state that did not allow for IVF. But first of all, penalizing others because of some, state laws that are silly, that's not something we necessarily want. And second, there were workarounds. And so I was very disappointed with the bill proposed by Cruz and others as a workaround. And again, the one that Tammy Duckworth had was, while I think some people wanted more discussion, the reality is I think that's political posturing. The reality is I don't think they would have been truly happy with anything that Senator Duckworth had proposed. And I think this is disappointing. I think that there are people who are coming for our rights to have a family, and they're going to get in the way because it jives with a political agenda. And again, it's not to say that anything is perfect. And by the way, if you object, to my opinions, I'm sorry, but I'm a fertility doctor. I try to help people ethically and appropriately bring babies into this world, and all these other people's thinking that they're going to promote more ethical IVF who actually don't work in the field. No, you're not. I'm just going to be blunt on that. Until you do this every day of life and you have spent years understanding the biology and the reality and knowing patients, it is really hard for anyone else to speak up with the cursory and casual experience that would come from not having it a part of your daily world. So I wish we were at a different point. I know this is not going away. This is a really important issue for so many people, and I can't wait until we can actually have some real protections that actually help good couples that want to become parents have the protection that they need and deserve for building their families.